Okay, so my son just came home from school. It's about 4:45. He told me a story, and I'm gonna want him to tell y'all. I'm gonna want him. Let him explain.
All right, so we were in class, right, and we were talking about Black History Month.
What class?
This was science class, actually.
Okay.
Um, Talking about how they're gonna do like this little play about it. And I was like, okay, that's cool. She was like,
Who?
She was Miss Beatty. She was going on and on about it.
Okay, pause. Who's Miss Beatty? She's a science teacher,
Science
right?
teacher, yes sir.
Okay. What is she?
She's a female.
Okay. What race is she?
She's white.
Okay.
But
For context.
she kept going on and on about like Black History Month, and then somehow she just got on the topic of how she feels, or how she likes it, or how she likes and accepts the fact that she appreciates Black History Month. But then she kind of on this topic, like she was like, I identify myself as a male. I think like a male, act like a male, do everything. I just have that male type character. And she says, I also identify myself as a lesbian. And then I heard the craziest thing. I was like, she kept going on and on. She was like Black History Month and stuff like that. And there was like, she said something about, Black History Month is all good and all, but I mean, and not she was saying not to like, I guess, be rude or everybody else interpret it like a bad way, but she was like, maybe some gays should get a little bit of appreciation on this day as well. And I was like, no, you don't get appreciation because of that. Honestly, if you feel that certain type of way, then you're abnormal, or you just think way different than other people, because God had intended a male to be with a female, not a female being with a female. And I was mind blown about that.
Well, let me ask you this. This woman, nobody talked about her sexuality. Like, nobody asked her, right?
No, sir.
Okay. Sorry. Sorry. So, if nobody asked her about her sexuality, she just came out and just said, "Hey, I identify as a man," and I'm a lesbian, which doesn't make sense. And I feel like that I should be appreciated. Essentially, she's saying that she should be appreciated on Black History Month. Now, as you know personally, I have somebody who's very close to me, and she happens to be a lesbian. And I have no problem with her lifestyle. If people choose to live like that, that's just their choice. Now, the difference is forcing that on anybody else. Now, we're talking about school. This isn't history class. This is science class. And so there are certain people who are getting into positions of, I wouldn't even say power, but leadership, because they want to influence a younger generation. The Bible says, train the mind up of a child and in the way they should go. Essentially, it's saying, however you're raised is generally the same things you'll believe when you get older. And for her to say something like that at a public school, and this is Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a pretty red state, which means it's a pretty Republican state. But there are certain people who believe a certain type of way that's some would consider abnormal. And if you're going to have that type of belief, like, keep that to yourself. Don't try to influence other kids, and don't try to hijack Black History Month for your own self-praise, because there actually is a month for LGBTs. It's June. So it's kind of like you have your own month. And that's the problem that certain people see with the LGBT community. Some in the LGBT, not all of them. LGBTQ, there's multiple letters. But anyways, they want praise. They're like, we're the minority. You need to pay attention to us. Like, dude, you know what? Sometimes, guess what? We just don't care. I'm a straight black male. I like black women. Oh, right. And, and, but there's other guys who might look at women a certain type of way, or look at guys, or whatever the heck. Whatever you do is your own business. But don't try to be pushing that off on my kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not your responsibility to try to train my child. Like science. Teach them about rectangles and acute angles and shapes and, science crap. Not pseudoscience. LGBT, stuff like that. People saying they're born a certain type of way is pseudoscience. Pseudoscience is almost a thought. There's no 100% consensus on that. And remember that there's a difference between science and pseudoscience. And there are certain people who are trying to get in there and influence kids to try to shape them, to make them believe a certain type of way. Guess what? I don't need anybody to tell me that I'm a black man. Right? Do you need anybody to tell you who you are? Because you know. And I don't need an approval from anybody else. If you're confident in who you are, you don't need an approval from anyone else. I'm gay. Okay. You don't have to tell me that you're gay. You don't have to get me to call me a man. I'm not calling you anything. You're not going to police my speech. And you're not going to make me call you anything. You know what? I'll be like, I just move around. If you're comfortable in your own skin, then I shouldn't have to conform to it. Keep it moving. So this is for the people out there who's trying to influence kids to make them on your side. Leave that at the house. Whatever you do at the house, leave that there. Don't take it to school. Don't try to influence other kids, because you know what? Kids talk. You might not think they're not coming home and telling their parents. If a parent has a good relationship with their child, they're going to ask, hey, what happened at school? I ask them all the time, what happened at school? Because I know that school is changing. We had gay kids in school. I graduated in 2004. So, there was gay kids. You knew they were gay. There was gay teachers. You knew they were gay. But they didn't come out and tell everybody, hey, I'm like, no. My son's attractive, even my youngest one. I got attractive kids. I feel like I got to worry more about, grown women coming on to them. Especially these teachers, which people ain't talking about. They talk about female empowerment. How come they ain't talking about these teachers who's messed with all these kids? But I guess we ain't gonna get on that subject. Anyways, leave that crap at the house. And my son's smart enough to recognize that 1 + 1 don't equal 3. You feel me? So, anyways, that's a little rant for the day. I don't know if I'm even gonna make this public. I think I might make this private. Man. But that's crazy, man. So, but I'm glad you was able to. I want to know, did you talk to any other black kids about that?
No, because I don't have any other ones at my table, so it's just.
What was everybody's kind of reaction?
They was kind of laughing at her.
Why do you think they were laughing at her?
Because we didn't need to know all day.
Yeah. And I think, forgive me for cussing, but she just kind of made herself look like an ass early. Like, I'm this. Like, whatever. Live and let live, which means do you, boo-boo, okay? Do you. We ain't got to worry about you, okay? He ain't got to worry about you. I ain't got to worry about you. But I will say something to the school, like, hey, keep your teachers in line with their confessions. You know what I'm saying? I don't need teachers like, oh my God, last night David broke my heart. Like, what does that have to do with triangles? That's your job. Science. Okay? Leave it at science. So, all right, man. You good?
Yes, sir.
All right, we out. Peace.
Peace.
There he is.